I work in the Hayslip Biological Control Research and Containment Laboratory. Our main purpose is to go overseas, find exotic natural enemies, beneficial insects that we can bring here, study, make sure that they are safe for the Florida environment, and then release them into Florida environment to combat pests of agriculture, pests of natural resources. The first step is to go overseas and find candidate natural enemies that are of interest that we want to study. And so we will need to first get an importation permit from USDA IFAS Plant Protection and Quarantine. This document allows us to bring something overseas into the quarantine facility. Once we have that material here, we then take it into the maximum security room inside quarantine. It's like a quarantine inside of a quarantine. And inside that maximum security room is where we open up the box in the presence of our quarantine officer, who is a representative of the Florida Department of Agriculture. And with that, we make sure that nothing is escaping from that box. We make sure all the proper documentation is associated with that shipment. And then we take that material out of the box, destroy all of the packaging material because it might have something that we don't want to release from quarantine. And then we take the material there in maximum security and rear it through one generation to make sure it does not have any parasites of its own, to make sure that there are no diseased individuals when we take it out of maximum security. So we want to clean up that quality and through one generation of rearing it and make sure it's clean before we take it to the general quarantine area for more rearing and biological studies. Once it passes through that first generation of cleanup to get out any unwanted organisms associated with our material from overseas, we then can release it from maximum security and take it to a rearing room or a greenhouse in the general containment area. The greenhouses are constructed in a way that it is very, very unlikely that anything will escape from them. The glass panels are tightly sealed so that no tiny little insect can escape through the cracks. In the rearing rooms, they are controlled precisely with temperature, humidity, and photoperiod. All of the air vents associated with the containment facility, the intake air vents, are all covered with filters so that nothing can get into the air conditioning unit and escape that way. Wastewater is diverted into sterilization tanks. There in the sterilization tank, when it's full, it is heated to 180 degrees for 30 minutes to cook everything in there and then release it to the sewer system. That way nothing unwanted escapes through the wastewater of the containment facility. Solid waste is managed by sending it through an autoclave where it's sterilized under high pressure, high temperature, and then once it's cooked and sterilized, it's then removed from the autoclave and taken to the dumpster for general disposal. So all these are very carefully managed protocols for minimizing the escape of any unwanted organisms through the air system, the water, or the solid waste.